Have y'all heard of John Deere? John Deere is the monolith, the monster of farm equipment manufacturing in America. And John Deere announced today that they are freezing manufacturing of farm equipment in the United States. And wait, they took it one better. They shuttered a plant in Iowa and they are moving it to Mexico. All I can say is thanks, MAGA. You've done it again. All that winning. You guys are absolutely killing it. Except here's the part you forgot. What you're killing is America, you fucking morons. And you blindly follow this dipshit who is going to kill every piece of our American economy till there's nothing left to save. Way to go.
Trump told hospitals today that they can allow pregnant women to die. He announced today that he is rescinding the direction that hospitals must adhere to EMTALA even when that care is an emergency needed abortion. See, under Biden, when hospitals were trying not to care for pregnant patients who needed A/B services to save their lives, they said, no, you have to. That's stabilizing emergency care that is required under EMTALA. Today, Trump said, no, you don't have to provide that. We are talking about people in an emergency situation whose lives are at risk being able to be turned away simply because they're pregnant. And look, we've already seen hospitals refusing to provide certain levels of care to patients because they're pregnant. This is just another example of that. Only in this case, we're talking an emergency room visit where literally it's the difference between life and death, and they can deny care. I need you to really sit with that, considering what's happening in Georgia with Adriana Smith, how they're artificially keeping that body functioning to whatever extent they can in order to try to grow the fetus in her corpse. And he just said that if you're in an emergent situation, if you go to the ER and the only treatment you can get to save your life is that of an abortion, they don't have to give you one.
Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back again to another episode. Thank you so much for clicking when you saw this video. So guys, we are going to be checking out this video which I saw from my FYP. Feel free to watch them and share your thoughts, your opinion. Let me know what you think about them in the comment section.
So hold on, let me get this straight. Aaron, the one with the bags under his ass that look like he's just so tired of lying, the one that was being pushed on this app so bad around the election time I had to block him, he was being paid by the DNC to spread misinformation on Republicans? Hold the fuck up, let me get this straight. I just came across his video on my For You page, and of course it only got about 50,000 views because he's telling the truth. A list of creators that was being paid by the DNC. Like, for real? Something did not sit right with me with Aaron from the start. That's why I blocked him. He was literally every other video on the For You page around election time. I knew it was something off with this app. I really couldn't put my finger on it. I just made a video 2 days ago, and I just now came across this one. I can't believe it. And with that being said, TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. Because y'all already know what happens when the truth is trying to be put out there. I'm just over it.
Hey, so in Matthew 24, when Jesus says that in the last days there will be false messiahs who rise up and deceive even the elect, I think what people don't understand about that warning is that they are expecting that this type of person would go around saying, I am Jesus, I am Jesus. That's not what that word is indicating. So in my book, The Judas Effect, How Evangelicals Betrayed Jesus for Power, I have an entire chapter called False Messiah. And the reason that I wrote that chapter is because one of the first things that alerted me that there was something going on with Donald Trump is that he kept saying things like, I am here to save you. I am the only one who can save you. I am going to save America. He even was speaking in that type of language at the inauguration a few days ago, at his second inauguration. And so one of the things that happens is when somebody is masquerading and they have this counterfeit spirit, when those words go out, they have the capacity to sort of enchant people who make a spiritual connection with those words. So what makes him so dangerous? We know that people are enchanted by him. We know that they don't think he's Jesus, but they actually do believe that he's anointed by Jesus. And he keeps saying it over and over and over because those words, when he slings them forward, it's like they're embedding themselves in certain people's spirits who are prone to be seduced by a false Messiah. So that word is pseudo Christos. It means a spurious Messiah, out of Matthew 24:24. And what it says is that this false Christ does not necessarily deny the existence of Christ. On the contrary, he blasphemously appropriates himself to Christ and affirms that he is the foretold one in whom God's promises and the saints' expectations will be fulfilled. So this is what he has done. He has blasphemously made people think that God has anointed him and that he is here to save Christianity. He has even said he is the best thing to ever happen to Christianity. You guys, it's so clear. So anyways, that is why he's so dangerous, is because he has appropriated himself this way and because so many people have been deceived by him.
So this is big news. Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic minority leader, is coming out swinging today, and he is vowing to unmask all the ICE agents. Press conference today, Jeffries said the following: "This is not the Soviet Union. We are not behind the Iron Curtain. This is not the 1930s, and every single one of them, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, will of course be identified. That, in fact, is the law." Now, this is exactly kind of the fight that we need to be seeing from our representatives as we see these ICE agents go into the streets wearing masks, kidnapping and abducting people and disappearing them from the streets of the United States of America. We're going to keep following what happens here, so make sure that you're following our account and add the Midas Touch podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We've got a new episode out now.
If you believe in God and you voted for MAGA, you're going to hell. That's what Democrats are starting to say on social media. The same people that think that a man could get pregnant when God designed women to get pregnant, who put drag queens in elementary schools but Bibles are bad, who shout "my body, my choice" unless it's concerning a vaccine, who believe looting is mostly peaceful, who are pro-choice and want abortions up to birth, although God condemns that, who say math is racist because unaliving white people in South Africa because of the color of their skin is not racist, who think gender is a feeling when God called us man and woman, and who also identify MS-13 gang members as Maryland fathers. Those people are trying to give us eternal life advice? Yeah. Don't get caught up in your self-righteousness, that just because you think you're doing good means that God thinks you're doing good. Because everything that you actually stand on is opposite of what the Word of God says. And for a group that wants to be included and accepted by all, man, you sure send people to hell real quick. It's all about loving and accepting as long as it pertains to you. But how can you not give the same amount of respect for someone who does not share your ideas? That is the very DNA, that is the very heartbeat of liberals and Democrats all across the world. We can be friends as long as we agree on everything. But the moment that you disagree, you become an automatic enemy of the state. You all can keep your safe places and your TikTok therapy videos. I'll stick with the Jesus of the Bible, not your version or your interpretation of him. You can keep your 87 genders and your tax-funded witchcraft. Let me know what you think in the comments section. And if you haven't hit that follow button, consider hitting that follow button for your daily updates. Thank you.
Good afternoon, mi gente. I'll tell you this, some days are harder than others to look at what's happening in our country and stomach it. You know? And I know that for most people, a lot of people, the urge is to go stick your head in the sand and not pay attention because it's just too much to handle. But we got to understand what's coming. Got to understand what's coming. If some of this stuff affects you, you got to know about it. And so that will always be my position, not to stress you out, not to overwhelm you, not to overstimulate you, but that make sure that you are a informed citizen of the United States. And that you have a chance to make a different decision if that's what suits your family. Anyway, I came on here to talk about the new tax spending bill that just passed the House. Those are jets flying over my house. And we have a saying in this area, that's the sound of freedom. It no longer is, by the way. But that new tax spending bill passed the House, 215 yes to 214 no. It was narrow. And 2 Republicans came onto the other side. But what's in that tax bill, that new tax spending bill, that's what's an atrocity. They're going to cut $200 billion into SNAP benefits, $600 billion in Medicaid, and it will affect Medicare. Yep. It will raise, that new tax spending bill for the next 10 years will raise our deficit by $3.8 trillion. And you do know the dollar is struggling. Countries are cashing in their bonds. They're not doing business with us because of this administration. And our dollar wasn't already worth $1. Our dollar is going to lose value. It's another thing. You know, I remember going to the Philippines and I got $15,000 or pesos to my $1. That will no longer be the case, but I digress. That's a conversation for another day. And the reason why the deficit is going to raise so much, and by the way, to put it in perspective, it's going to raise it by $3.8 trillion over the next 10 years. Our current deficit is $36 trillion. That's over 10%. And at the end of the day, they're doing all of this, right? If you want to know why, because the rich are still getting their tax incentive. That's something that did not even budge at all. But more importantly is that they're going to codify the tax incentive for the rich and make them permanent. While they take student loans that people are paying back and increase them by $3,000 starting in 2026. That's what's happened. And there is spending in there for defense. And of course, there's spending in there to continue to take military planes at $80 million and ship people out of this country to countries they're not even from. And I'll say it again. You're going to take food and healthcare away from some of the poorest people in our country and the working class, by the way, and the working class. I should stop saying that because it's also the working class. You're going to give those tax incentives to the richest people that don't struggle with finding health care or eating. But then you're going to take that same set tax money that you could be given back to the citizens of the United States, and you're going to double down on shipping brown people out of this country because of your hatred for them. That's insane to me because it doesn't change the fact, you guys can go research it. Immigrants contribute $100 billion to our economy. The rich people, zero. Because that whole trickle down effect that they always talk about, I'll give you a perfect example. Go look it up. AT&T got that tax incentive the last time Trump was president. Guess what they did? They laid off 30,000 people. The rest of the companies, they purchased buyback stocks. But I digress. What you voted for?
How you like that? You gon' like that? Da 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 da. You like that? How you like that? Da 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 da. Now, look at you, now look at me. Look at you, now look at me. Look at you, now look at me. How
Guys, what is this video about empty shelves, empty pots that I have been seeing currently? Like, what is actually happening? What is going on? What is going on? Does it mean that there is going to be a recession? Does it mean that even when you have money, you will not be able to use your money to get some of the things that you want? Oh my God, even the food prices recently has been doubled, right? Like things are so expensive. People are no longer happy. People are not angry, saying that they are so disappointed, saying that this is not what they voted for, saying that this is not the agreement, right? And Walmart currently have increased the prices of their grocery shopping. Yeah, Walmart CEO reported that he was going to increase the prices of grocery shopping, and I also saw some videos where they say that Walmart was closing some shops located at other areas due to lack of sales. Oh my God, Fafo era is finally here. A lot of the Republicans were so angry and they were so pissed off uh, because some people choose to be a democratic party. They were so pissed when some people said that, oh, we are not voting for Trump, we are not following you. They were so pissed off. And right now, they are now beginning to realize the reason why those people did not vote. They are now beginning to find out because Trump policy, Trump administration is really hitting so much on them, hitting so hard on them. So they are not accepting it at all. They are not happy about it at all. They are not happy about it, right? Like, this is what happens when you vote against yourself. This is what happens when you do something without even finding out, to really know the cause of what you are doing, to really know the consequences, to really know the repercussion, to really know if that thing you are doing is going to favor you and your loved ones or your children or your families. You guys saw a lot of videos circulating about the eyes reading, like the eyes are just reading people. Going to imagine eyes reading someone that went to immigration office for asylum, fair hearing, and the next thing eyes will just come and rate that person there. I don't even think that something like this has ever happened. I have never heard it at all. How can you go for your asylum, fair hearing, and all of a sudden you are being detained and sent back to your country? Oh my God, like, this is getting too much and people are not happy. People are not taking it at all. This is what you guys voted for, right? This is what you guys want. Even when a lot of people try to warn you, even when a lot of people trying to educate you guys did not listen. And now, this is the consequences of your actions. Right. A lot of the Magas are now beginning to come out and they name themselves the living Magas. This is what we call Medicaid, medication after FIP. They name themselves the living Magas. Living, why don't you do this thing earlier before now? Why don't you take a move? Why don't you take a step earlier before now? Is after things are in this way that some of you are not coming out saying that you are not the living Magas, that you regret voting. Oh my goodness. Guys, I'm so sorry for my voice. Let me know what are your thoughts. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. And I'm just going to be right there waiting for you guys. See you all in my next episode. Bye.